Oh, sorry. That's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
Will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. Do not forget to hit subscribe and leave a comment. If you want to support the show and become a Reaverite, perfect. If you want to support SHR Media, great. Just go to Reaver.one, that is REAVER.ONE, and click on the Reaver store. How is everybody doing? And good morning, Jenna. You were missed yesterday. All right. Try to see where we are. I want to talk about something real quick. We have Hillary Clinton. She's talking how the mentality is not there for a Trump presidency. That he would get people killed and all this other stuff. Problem is, Trump has never killed anybody. This bitch has killed 4 people. And no, I don't hate women because I called this woman a bitch. She is more than a bitch. I'm being nice. She was directly responsible for the 4 deaths in Benghazi. Shut up, phone. Stop vibrating at me. Phone's yelling at me. And it's funny, she did it. She finally did a little press conference yesterday. And she wore orange, which is kind of appropriate that she belongs in jail instead of running for president, and she's wearing orange. It's kind of fitting for her. But also, it was that stupid gun violence day, wear orange bull crap. Yeah, I had fun on Twitter last night. This morning, last night. Whichever you want to take it as. All these. See you next Tuesday. Can't understand normal thinking. Would that be the word you're thinking of, Jenna? It's funny how Obama opens his mouth about gun violence, and he tries to make it sound like we are this dangerous country. Gun ownership is at a record level high. And we're going to talk probably more about this later. We are at a record ownership. and concealed carry permit holders. But we're at a record low on gun violence. And these shootings that keep happening, that they plaster all over the TV. Yeah, they're in gun-free zones. Gun-free zones that are supposed to stop shootings from happening. Yeah. I guess it's not working because that's where all the criminals are going to do their shooting. And yes, it does piss me off because I do have a horse in that race, so to speak. In fact, I'm going to put this article, I'm going to switch it up, and we're going to talk about it now. I want to keep going about it. See, I do not put up well with these fucking idiots about gun control. For those that are new to listening that don't know, when I was about 10, 11 years old, my father was shot. We were in the state of New Jersey where it is basically impossible for you to get a concealed carry permit. And they have it so everyday citizens cannot protect themselves. So these laws have it set up. These laws have it set up so that normal everyday people cannot protect themselves. How did that help my father? And I don't yell and scream at these morons. I can't help it that they can't help it that they're simple-minded and they're easily swayed to a conversation. Their emotions get the best of them. And not the good emotions. These are those social justice warrior, bleeding heart bull crap. How do those gun laws, how did they help my father? How did they help my father as he had to stand there and watch his boss get murdered? My dad had to stand there and watch the gunman fire 2 shots, point blank, into his head. And then my dad had to stand there and wait his turn to be shot. 2 shots rang out, and the guy calmly walked out of the building and disappeared. He was a criminal who was illegally carrying in the state of New Jersey. He did not give a fucking rat's ass about anybody's goddamn laws. But those same laws that he ignored are the same ones that law-abiding citizens go by that didn't allow them to carry to protect themselves. That's why I carry. I will not have my daughter changing a colostomy bag on me. It's not a guarantee that I won't get shot, but the chances are in my favor now. Where my dad had next to no chance. The doctors gave him next to no chance of survival. There was none of these gun idiots around to be there for the next 10 years and 23 surgeries my father went through. And yes, back then we could have sued the gun manufacturer. We could have sued the bullet manufacturer. And my father said, no, it's not their fault that this guy did this act, heinous act. So please tell me how your fucking bullshit gun control, bleeding heart laws would have helped my family, how it would have helped my father. And I even, because my dad's a very peaceful man, I even talked to my dad not too long ago, and I've talked about this before on the show, and I know I have. But when this stuff comes up, I want to let you know why I am so adamant about it. But I asked my dad, I said, even if you could have carried, you couldn't have pulled that gun and shot the man. And my dad is a very calm, non-emotional, straightforward man. My dad just looked at me, and I remember the look in his eye. And he doesn't even hate the guy that shot him. He doesn't hate him. He's just like, yep, that guy shot me. It's done with it. Move on. But he just looked at me. He had this look in his eye, and he said, don't bet your ass on it. And my dad doesn't cuss either. And I just was stunned when my father said that. So don't tell me how your gun control helps, because the last several major shootings have been in California. California, which has some of the strictest gun regulations in the United States, but yet they don't stop any of the shootings. These idiots say all they want is background checks. Background checks don't stop people who one day are law-abiding and next day say, you know what? I'm tired of following the rules. This person's pissed me off. I'm going to go kill him. Because even if you take guns out of the equation, they're going to find other ways. Sarnak brothers, they didn't use a gun. They used a pressure cooker. You can use a car. There's more people murdered by car than by guns. And these idiots love touting this 33,000 people are murdered by guns a year when they're fucking morons following a number that was fed to them, and they don't realize that 22,000 of those numbers were suicide by gun. And if they're set on committing suicide by gun, you take the guns out, those 22,000 still would find a way to commit suicide. It's sad that they took their lives, that they felt they had to take their lives. That's not the discussion. The discussion is you cannot count those numbers. They would have found a way. Now we're left with roughly 11,000 murders a year by gun. And how many of those 11,000 are related directly to gang violence? How many are justified shootings? Because that's the thing they don't realize. Within those numbers are justified shootings. In other words, a police shoots a bad guy and it's deemed justified. Everyday Joe Schmo on the street shoots a bad guy in protection of his life or someone else's life, and it's deemed justified. We are at a record low for gun violence. Record low. And a record high of gun ownership. They didn't have a good comparison, but now they do. States and areas with pro-gun laws, allowing people to carry the gun crime. In fact, crime across the board is dropping. States that are strict on gun control, the crime is shooting through the roof. Chicago, how many goddamn shootings do we hear about? Does Obama ever talk about them? No. Why? Because they have some of the strictest gun laws. Washington, D.C., California, Chicago, some of the strictest gun regulations around and some of the highest gun violence around. Do not blame the states next to them, because that is a myth. You cannot go to a gun show and just pick up a gun, because when you say, I'm from such and such, or you show your ID as you have to, they say, we cannot. Or you have to go through X, Y, and Z still to get the gun, the same as whatever state. They have to follow by your state. That little myth that Obama put in your head to make you look like a fucking idiot. That's what I don't understand. He keeps putting stats out there that make you look like fucking idiots. And what do? You keep fucking parroting them. And the worst fucking offenders are these celebrities. They're out here wearing orange, crying about gun safety. Yeah, gun safety is making sure what's behind your target. Using two hands, that's gun safety. They're trying to take a word over because, well, gun control is a negative connotation. They don't like that now. Even though on Twitter, there's many people just telling Obama, ban guns, write an executive order. And most of these idiots aren't even in this country. And it's, hey, fucking moron, we have a constitution. He can't. And even if he wanted to try to remove the Second Amendment, it's a very long, drawn-out process. And even your states with Democrat run, I doubt would be pushing that because they would be losing their seats quick. Because remember, besides having 2/3 House and Senate, you would have to go to the states and get it ratified by 2/3 of the states to remove a constitutional amendment. But these celebrities are out there crying about gun control. We got to do something. Are the same ones that are making billions and billions and billions of fucking dollars on movies where there is a shitload of gun violence. And I'm not against these movies, so don't go that way. But if you are going to sit there and cry about gun violence, but then the next day hop in a movie, make millions of dollars on a shoot-'em-up film loaded with gun violence, you are a fucking hypocrite. So many of these Hollywood celebrities donned orange outfits for gun safety and tweeted support for more gun laws on Thursday. What are more gun laws going to do? If laws worked, making murder illegal would have been the only law that we need. Adding one more gun law, 2 more gun laws, 100, 1,000, 1,000,000 fucking gun laws will not stop the gun violence. Tell me this. How come when you go to an NRA event, you don't hear about mass shootings? How many people have guns at an NRA event? How come you don't hear about mass shootings or any type of shootings at gun shows? All those people that are carrying guns on them. Texas just had a big Republican convention. All these people openly walking around this convention, but nobody got shot. Oh my God, nobody got shot and all these guns around. Could it be that these idiots are lying? Let me put a little... Where'd it go? 8 attacks recently in gun-free zones. 8 attacks. That's 8 different instances of 8 gun-free zones with 105 innocent that were shot and killed. 105 in 8 gun-free zones. You don't hear about this type of numbers unless it's a gang shooting outside of gun-free zones. Why are people picking theaters? Because these theater companies are saying, you can't carry your gun in my store. Why did Holmes pick hang on. Some dumb fucking bitch. Well, Just bear with me 2 seconds. I do apologize, but dumb bitches like this really piss me off. She won't answer my questions, but she sure as hell in capital letters could tell me, if you desire violence, you get violence. See, that's the problem. Man, my camera went totally out of whack. That's the problem. These people think we carry guns just so we can go around shooting people. I have my gun, so I don't have to pull my gun out. I don't ever want to, but if the time ever comes, I'll be able to protect my family. I don't have to get all emotional. Yeah, I do get a little loud about it. I think I have a fucking right to get loud about it. Everybody has a right to their opinion on this subject. But let me tell you, who has a better idea? These bleeding heart liberals or someone who has lived through it? And with that, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cat for the stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Now, does anybody want a good laugh? Now, I told you that fucking idiot just tweeted me back. It was fucking going nuts. Well, they feel so strong about gun control. They feel that they have the facts so much on their side that they have to block opposing ideas. They're so fucking scared. This pussy had to block me. I wasn't being nasty. I wasn't screaming. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't cussing. But this pussy had a block. They could sure as hell throw theirs, and I love how they do it. They got to throw out that last comment. I'm going to be watch this. I'm going to block. Oh, you fucking pussy. That's all it looks to me. You fucking pussies. Excuse me for my mouth today, but you know what? These idiots just really, it really makes me laugh. And I just find it so hysterical. They're so sure in their stance that they got to block. They have no balls to have a conversation. I challenge any of you anti-gun fucking nut jobs. Contact me at jerseyjoe@reaver.1. Let me know that you want to call in the show and we will have the conversation. Or if you're listening right now and you want to have the conversation, go to shrmedia.com, jump in the chat room, and I will give you a number to call and I will put you on live and we will have a discussion. Especially if you are from every town for gun safety or one of those dumbass moms demand, because you have no place to be demanding shit. Because you already blocked me because you're scared of the facts. And yes, I'm using the word facts. And everybody uses it and it's not properly used, but it is. I throw out numbers from the FBI underneath this administration that totally blow out these myths, and you're scared of them, so you got to block. Oh my God, we got someone that knows what they're talking about. Oh, we only want to talk to people with the same mentality as me. We got to block out everybody that's opposing, so that way we can say, look at this, we're the majority. Nobody's talking about guns. We're the majority, so we got to make guns banned because all of us want it banned. There's nobody talking against us. Well, you blocked everybody with an opposing view. Yeah. And that's what they do. You block out the opposing views, so therefore only like-minded are speaking. Then you get the idea that, oh my God, there's no one speaking against it. This is the majority. Everybody wants it. Now, this National Gun Violence Awareness Day happened a day after there was a shooting at UCLA, which is a gun-free zone. Now, this man was so dead set on committing this murder that he was living in Minnesota. He killed I don't know if it's his, I believe it was his wife. He killed his wife in Minnesota, drove all the way to California, had a kill list, killed one professor that he called a mentor back when he was going after his doctorate, and then took his own life. Saying, oh my God, look at this. Oh. If that guy is that dead set on committing murder, do you think banning guns would have stopped him? He killed his wife, got in a car, drove. I don't even know how many thousands of miles it is from Minnesota out to California. Tracked down the professor, killed him. I think he was dead set on this. And what's funny is these idiots are wearing orange. Yeah. Well, here's also the other thing. Maybe if we didn't have a president that was releasing violent criminals into the general population of the United States, maybe we wouldn't have such gun violence. That's a nifty thought. Stop releasing the violent criminals into population. Stop releasing them from jail early, mind you. And maybe we won't have so much violence. Yeah, fucktarditis is really contagious. It is. And, oh. Ron Howard tweeted a photo of himself wearing orange. Damn it, I can't think of that. Opie? Was it Opie he played? I think so. Think, talk, write your lawmakers, vote, and yes, wear orange. Effective gun safety is a must. Gun safety. You know what? There is gun safety. Tell you what, my handgun has 2 safeties on it. One on the trigger and one on the back of the butt of the gun. Both of those have to be depressed before you can fire the gun. That is a very excellent gun safety. Several guns are going that way. Instead of having just that one flip switch of a gun safety, there's 2 gun safeties on my gun. Because if you're not pressing, the back or that little area between your thumb and your index finger, that has to be pushing up against the back of the gun. And then the trigger has a double piece on it, and you have to depress the 1 before the main trigger will pull back. And yes, you're right, Jenna. People need to stop being scared of their kids and discipline them. And that's one issue. And that's why I like Florida. They actually have a state law. They made it a state law that you have the right to even spank your kid in public as long as you're not abusing them and leaving all these marks. You have the right to spank them if they're being out of hand. I'll tell you what, my daughter, just the thought has kept her in line. And she says that. She's like, I don't touch her. I think when she was a baby, she went to stick her finger in a socket, and I didn't even hit her hard. It was enough to rattle the diaper and scare the crap out of her. That's the only time. I mean, do I wrestle with her? Yeah, and I've created a monster because she can almost whoop my ass already. And that's a good thing because my daughter can protect herself to a degree. And I'll get her on her arm or her leg, give her a little pop, and she could take it. She just sits there and rubs. And, she'll do the play acting of, Mommy, hit me. Or just for fun, she'll call her grandmother, my mother, up. Your son's hitting him. Come discipline him. We're playing around. And we'll go over to my parents, and she'll be like, well, how did it all start? Oh, I told him I wanted a rough house. Oh, so you started? Yeah. She was like, yeah, I wanted to play. I thought it was funny to call you. My mom thinks it's funny, too. I don't abuse my daughter at all, so I don't want to hear that. Oh, my daughter she's taken karate already, but we couldn't keep up on affording it. So she's in the YMCA with judo. And me and her wrestle since, God, before she could even speak, we would wrestle. I mean, I'd be sitting there, not actually body slamming her, but that was her favorite thing. Go up in the air. I would turn her, drop her about a foot or two onto the bed, and she'd bounce and she'd giggle, and she loved it. I'd only do it like once or twice because I don't want to rattle the brain too much. And she could I can almost give her a full punch in her arm or her leg because I popped her good sometime, and she just looked at me, rubbed her leg. One time I did it, and she just looked at me, rubbed her legs, like, do you mind? I'm watching a video. I was like, oh, shit, I'm in trouble. And she already knows. She's known for years. Kick a guy in the nuts, he's going right down. She's done it to me. Not like viciously. We'll be like wrestling, and she gave me a little pop and got me. And it's like, oh, shit. My daughter knows how to protect herself. I'm teaching her how to shoot. I'm teaching her the proper respect of a gun. She has a compound bow. She's learning the respect of it. We go shooting. She has the respect. She has the same ideology that I had when I was a child. When I was a child, I would go out to my grandfather's farm in upstate Pennsylvania where the nearest neighbor was 2-3 miles away. And I'm talking like a neighbor. You go out back, you want to do some shooting, you did some shooting. My grandfather's rule was simple. You want to touch one of the guns? For us younger kids, you want to touch, you come get me. If I'm not busy, he would let us fire it. He would let us touch it and all that and do whatever, to a degree what we wanted. But he had to be there. And he said, if I catch you even touching it, just walking up and putting your finger on it, and you didn't ask, come get me, I'm going to whoop your ass. And these guns were loaded and all over the house. And you want to know something? There was never an accident. Never. Why? Because we all had a respect for them. We knew they could kill. That's one of their main things. Whether it is for hunting, killing, or for self-defense, killing. We had the respect. And that's the problem, is we don't teach our kids the respect for the weapons. My daughter has the same thing, and my wife's reinforced it. My wife wasn't raised around guns. She's a little about guns. But our daughter doesn't touch them. And I said, anytime you want to touch one, we will get the BB gun out. We can go in the backyard. We can get your bow. Just let me know. I'm more than glad. And that's what it comes down to. Education. Teach them about guns. If you have a fear and no knowledge, of course, there will be incidents. Kids are a very curious species. Very curious. So if you don't teach them about the dangers, they don't understand about the dangers. They learn about everything on TV then. And okay, this movie, they got shot. Next movie, the person's back alive. Make sure they understand. Guns do not go off without a human hand. Well, I shouldn't say always. There has been some mishaps. So yes, gun safety. Make sure that everybody is educated. It's that simple. Yes, ignorance breeds tragedy, and that's perfect, Jenna. That's perfect. It's, if you understand, accidents do happen, so you'll never stop. You will never stop the violence until we can find out what gene in our body causes us to want to kill each other. You can take away all the weapons you want. but they'll always find a way to commit their heinous crimes. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying half of the stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I literally just sat down on the chair and I heard that last part. I'm going, oh shit, I'm late. I got talking to the wife, and, well, then she wanted to bring up that Pittsburgh Penguins won game 2, so I was telling her to go fuck herself at the time. Ugh. No, I don't like the Pittsburgh Penguins, and supposedly she's not supposed to like them either. We are both Philadelphia Flyers diehard fans. At least I am. And she's rooting for the Penguins. She's evil. Evil woman. The Jersey Takeover is here. We've expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe to the live stream and leave a comment. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. That is REAVER.ONE. And click on the Reaver store. Become a Reaverite. Woo! Sometimes that commercial just goes whizzing by. So the UCLA shooting is a reminder gun-free zones are not gun-free. Wednesday murder-suicide on the UCLA campus again exemplifies the fact that gun-free zones are not gun-free for criminally inclined. William Clegg, the 39-year-old mechanical aerospace engineer professor, was shot and killed by a student now identified as Sarka is the last name, on the UCLA campus just before 10 a.m. this past Wednesday. The gunman then turned the gun on himself and ended his own life. University campuses are gun-free in California by state law. Governor Jerry Brown signed a repeal of campus carry in October 2015. That ban removed a state exemption that allowed concealed carry permit holders to carry a gun on campus for self-defense. With his signature, Brown guaranteed that the only people who carry on campus are criminals who like to prey on unarmed victims. A similar gun-free on Oregon's community college campus proved impotent to prevent Chris Harper Mercer from shooting 9 people to death on October 1st, 2015. And the gun-free zone at Virginia Tech University posed no hindrance to Cho, who shot and killed 32 people April 16th, 2007. Breitbart News previously reported 8 attacks in gun-free zones in which 105 innocents were shot and killed. Those attacks took place at the Lafayette Grand Theater, July 23rd, 2015, Chattanooga Military Office, July 16th, 2015, Fort Hood, 2014, D.C. Navy Yard, September 16th, 2013, Sandy Hook Elementary School, December 14th, 2012, Aurora Movie Theater, July 20th, 2012, Fort Hood, again, 2009, and Virginia Tech in 2007. In addition to the 105 killed, more than 150 others were shot and wounded. The UCLA campus is now added to the list of gun-free zones that failed to prevent a heinous attack. If man has hate in his heart, he will commit that heinous attack, any means necessary. And how hard is it to understand that these gun-free zones are a failure? How hard is it? Is it just that you don't want to admit that you have this failure? I don't understand. And I'm not asking for a big explanation. But they don't work. But yet you have the left keep pushing it. You have the left that are now trying to push. Well, they've been pushing gun bans, and I love we don't want to ban guns. Ban guns. We don't want to ban guns. Well, then why did you have pay millions of dollars into a think tank to find out how to ban guns? How come the proposals that you're putting forth are spelled out in that think tank piece? You're just simple-minded and doing what you're told to repeat. That's what it comes down to. Whether you know it or not, that's all you're doing. And I love these idiots that just, like that bitch telling me that because I want to protect my family, I deserve to be shot. And they do it all the time. The most violent of all of these people are the anti-gunners. They're the most violent. Just like I don't understand when you're talking the pro or get for or against abortions. And you get these nut jobs, and yes, they're nut jobs, that go to these abortion clinics. They're against killings. And what do? They blow up these offices, killing people in there. But they're against killing people. Well, it's the same thing. We got these anti-gun jackasses that are against gun violence, but they wish all this violence on people. And I don't know. This kind of screams that are we at the end of the world right now? I mean, it's getting that bad. It really is. Sorry. I'm also looking for some stuff as I do the show. My dad's computer was 15 years old. So I had some extra parts laying around, built a new computer, and it started screwing up. And I thought it might happen. I said, don't worry about it. I'll deal with it when that time comes. So I bought these parts for him to build a new computer. Now, he doesn't need anything extravagant. He's not worried about all the bells and whistle. As long as he could play his games, he's happy. Happy, happy, happy. That's all he cares. So all of a sudden, all the shit starts happening. I'm like, well, I put an old hard drive in there. That's probably the issue, Dad. I would get you a new one for $20. And the problem still happened. So I had to replace all the parts in them. And they're coming in today. So as soon as I get done the show, I got to do some stuff around the house. As soon as those parts come, head over to my dad's, rebuild this computer again, and hope that all the issues are done and over with. Yeah, so I got all these scrap pieces of paper laying around with all information, numbers. Oh, God. So I'm trying to find them as I do the show. All right. That's not it. And the most important is there it is, I think. The Windows number. There it is. So I got everything over in a nice, neat pile over here. I just, when it comes to this gun thing, if you don't notice, it is not a sore spot for me, but it's a passion of mine. Listen, if you don't like guns, that's your right. And that's the problem we have between the left and the right. The right, we don't like something, hey, we don't like it. End of discussion. The left, they want to ban it. On the right, if if someone's not able to eat meat. So am I, Jenna. I'm really glad you're here. We had Kel was here yesterday. I know she's been having a very busy time, and she made it yesterday. And you weren't here. It's like every other day. I'm wondering if you two are the same person. On the right, if we don't like something, if we can't eat meat, if we can't eat salt, we don't eat it. We don't use it. If we don't like gas vehicles, we won't use them. But the left, if they can't have salt because of medical problems they're having, nobody can use it. And I've had my father-in-law get in this discussion with me because he has cardiac issues. He's not allowed to have salt. So he says everybody can't have salt. It's not good for you. No, it's not good for you. What we have now in health issues, a lot of these people within my age range down to 20 are having cardiac issues. Why? Because their parents went over the deep end and cut salt out of diets. And a lot of people going, so that's nothing wrong. There's a big problem there. I'm going to give you guys a quick medical lesson. On a cellular level, how your heart pumps or your muscles move. There's a cell. And normally, it's a negatively charged. I believe it's negative. I always get it confused. But it's negative and it has potassium in it, which causes a negative charge. Now, when that muscle has to contract, the salt molecules will be on the outside, and it will push in and push out the potassium. So now that cell becomes a positive charge, and it will go down the chain, causing the muscle to contract. Now it needs to relax. So what happens is the potassium now overtakes that cell, and it becomes a negatively charged. Now what happens when you don't have sodium in your diet? You start getting arrhythmias. What happens when you don't have potassium in your diet? You get muscle cramps. Why? Because you're overloading all those cells with positively charged cells, causing the muscles to contract. And they can't relax because there's no potassium in there to cause a negative charge. So when you cut out salt 100% out of your diet, you're going to have cardiac issues. Now, if your body doesn't expel salt from the body, you need to stop an intake from your body, for your body, I should say. Because your body's not expelling the salt that's in there. Now, when you do it the other way around, when your body's having no issues, now you're cutting that salt. It's expelling salt. Yeah, eat bananas for growing pains, as it was called back in our time. But what it is bananas have a high level of potassium, and it gets the potassium back in your body. You stop that cramping because now you have what it's called a sodium-potassium, I think sodium-potassium or potassium-sodium pump. And that is how our muscles move. And that's all the heart is a big muscle. And that's how it moves. So you need salt. And my father-in-law, no, you got to take it out of your diet. It's bad for you. No, it's bad for you. For whatever reason, your body does not expel the salt. Same that goes on with this big thing of gluten-free. Gluten-free is good for people that are allergic to gluten. Taking gluten out of your diet when you're not allergic to it is not a good thing. Now, limiting is okay, but taking it out of your diet is not. And these diets that pop up, these fads, they're causing more harm than good. Now, I'm not saying we should all be fat. No. I don't even like how big I've gotten. and I'm trying to drop the weight. Well, I gained mine, because I was eating a little extra, because I quit smoking a year ago. So I've gained some weight over the last year. The swelling in the legs is from your retaining water, and I'm trying to remember. Caffeine. Caffeine will make you pee a lot. Get rid of the excess water. Can't remember off the top of my head. There's several other things you can do, because the other thing is you can also do stuff that's going to dilate your veins, which will suck that water back into the bloodstream. And there's several natural things you can do to help with that. And the other thing is also to keep your legs higher. Keep them up so that the water doesn't pull. But my point is, just because it's bad for them doesn't mean, or if they don't like it, doesn't mean nobody else should. And that's what they do with guns, because they have this fear with lack of knowledge. So that fear leads them to go, nobody should have them. Guns. No, it don't work that way. And second, we have what's called a constitution that guarantees us the right. It's simple. And actually, I just looked. I'm freaking late for another break. Damn. Today is just flying by. And I always say that's a good thing. When the time is flying by during a show, that means I'm actually having a good show. Or I think that. But you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying half of the stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We've expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. My phone is yelling at me again. So, they shouldn't have given me this new program because I'm having fun with all the little bells and whistles on the effects because, well, I got... There's too many buttons for me, and I like to play around too much. So I've been having fun during the commercials, throwing up that little cheering. It makes me feel good. It's a feel-good button, damn it. No. Just a smart ass. So, where are we? All right. I always check my mail, especially my phone's yelling at me. And I got an insurance thing going through about my damn roof. All right, sorry. I know I'm giving a lot of apologies. Another funny one that has popped up in the news is the State Department says we have hit a dead end on who ordered the video editing. So last night with SHR Media, we have recreated a small amount of the... We put a lot of money into this and have a recreation of how that conversation went, with the State Department. They would walk in, they found a janitor. Hey, do you know how the video got edited? No. They would go to one of the secretaries. Do you know how the video got edited? No. That's it. We're at a dead end. We don't know how the video got edited. We did our job. I'm serious. I mean, they did next to no real investigation that came out. Well, we're at a dead end. They've been at a dead end about everything. I mean, their career is almost at a dead end. The State Department on Thursday said it hit a dead end in determining who ordered the deletion of part of a December 2013 press briefing video that addressed the Iran nuclear deal. We believe we carried out the necessary investigation. We have hit a dead end in terms of finding out more information. The answer was amazingly unacceptable to CNN anchor Jake Tapper, who declared Thursday, just as the public has the right to know the truth, we have a right to know who lied to us and why. This is CNN people going after the administration. CNN seems to have found
a little bit of their balls again and are learning how to actually be a news agency and ask questions. During the deleted portion, then State Department Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked by Fox News reporter James Rosen whether it was okay to lie to keep secret negotiations with Iran. I think there are times when diplomacy needs privacy in order to progress, she responded. The State Department called the deletion a glitch before admitting it was deliberate order made by someone. It says it's not known at this point. You know what? Actually, I still think you're the same people, Jenna, because not until I said that, then you logged in, Kel, and you're talking to yourself. I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy. Okay, I've been around too many liberals lately. Toner also made a contradictory statement as whether the identity of the person who relayed the request was unknown. Yes, it was. So the request was, and we sort of know, obviously, who made that request, but that was passing on a request from someone else within the Public Affairs Bureau. The individual in question here does not remember who told him or her to carry out this order. It was a phone call that took place 3 years ago. We're not going to question their memory, but at this point, we believe that we've done the forensics. How about you start trying to narrow it down to a time frame? Start pulling phone logs. I'm sorry, if some government worker doesn't know who called to tell them to delete, they should have never deleted. They know who it is. And it's funny, all these people that get paid to do their job, but none of them can remember ever doing fucking shit at their job. None of them can remember anything. Sort of like the Clintons. Bill and Hillary got paid close to $20 million for their memoirs. How many times have they testified under oath? And all they could say is, I don't remember. I'm getting tired of all these government officials not remembering shit. Maybe we ought to start forgetting to pay our taxes. Oh, that's different. We're required to remember everything. If we were being questioned by the government, saying that we forgot would not be an answer allowed. So again, the double standard, the government has the right to forget. The people don't have the right to forget. But later in the briefing, Toner indicated that the department has not been able to clarify who placed the call relaying the order to the video technician. It's unclear whether he meant he could only clarify that for reporters or that he did not know. And as far as who decided and directed others to make the edit happen, Toner said we don't have that individual or that individual's name. So they don't know who the person was that took that order, and that person doesn't know who gave that order. For a very transparent presidency that we are guaranteed, people sure don't know fucking jack shit. I'm sure if some paychecks were forgotten about, that'd be a different story. See, things like this are what sends my blood pressure through the roof. A lot of things nowadays send my blood pressure through the roof. Phone's yelling at me again. Stop yelling at me. If the Toner said the department has looked through a staff roster and taken common sense steps to get to the bottom of the decision, he said he could not confirm whether phone records were examined, but he would check. He also said there were no plans to interview the roughly 300 employees in the Public Affairs Bureau to determine who made the original request. If somebody wants to come forward with that, then we would welcome that, obviously. then I guess you haven't done all the steps. I guess you're not at a dead end. You're just being fucking lazy and don't want to go any further. Because if you're not going to go the full way, you're not at a dead end. He also stated, if we get any new information as to where this request came from, we will investigate further. Bullshit. While he said the act was inappropriate, he said an investigation by the State Department's legal advisor's office showed no rules were broken, primarily since there were none in place in regard to editing video. He said, however, that there is a policy going forward not to alter briefing videos. So, in other words, fuck the public, hide, lie, do whatever's necessary as long as the public does not know. That is what the people are getting sick and tired of. It's Hillary Clinton is pulling the woman card out again. She's pulling out and crying because supposedly people tell me they won't vote for me because I'm a woman. No, they won't vote for you because you're a lying scumbag of a woman. You left that part out. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton portrays herself as a victim of sexism, explaining during an interview that she suffers from it at her own campaign rallies. No, they don't want to vote to you because you're a lying bitch. She said that people would come up to her on the rope line and say, I really admire you. I really like you. I just don't know if I can vote for a woman to be president. I mean, they come to my events and they say that to me. Oh, she's such a victim. Such a victim. Don't you want to cry for her? Yeah, like I believe that actually happened. Well, maybe they don't want to vote for a woman president because we'll be at war once a month. 1 week out of every month, we'll be going to war with somebody, something. I wonder how much hate mail I'm going to get off that joke. Probably a lot. Remember, all hate mail goes to crash@reaver.one. That is CRASH @reaver.one. It takes a lot of balls to go out there. And she's pulling the woman card. Nobody wanted to vote for me because I'm a woman. I mean, seriously, I'm getting tired of that. I don't care what or what is between your legs. That doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're incompetent. You have done things that have, well, not been the best interests of the United States so you could pad your bank account. You have left, I forget how many people to die, and were directly responsible for 4 of them dying. You didn't expect how great our military was and that they would come out alive. You have lied nonstop to the public. You have protected a sex offender, a sex predator. You have attacked and intimidated victims. So I think that's a lot right there alone to why they don't want to vote for a lying scumbag like you. She added, she thinks Americans are afraid that a woman's ambitions would crowd our relationships, marriage, children, family, and homemaking. How? Because let me tell you, my wife is the breadwinner of our house, and it doesn't bother me. This coming up with bullshit reasons why people don't want to vote for me, and then to come up with even a lamer excuse of why they're saying that. She said that Americans viewed a woman's ambition as dangerous and that men were 100% afraid of the competition. I have had to answer to female chiefs before, and I've had no goddamn problem. A lot of people don't care whether you have a vagina or whether you have a penis and being the boss. As long as you do the job with competency, as long as you do the job with integrity, you're making excuses and playing the woman card. The same thing you said you wouldn't do. Jeez. So her numbers start to go down. So what does she do? She starts playing the female card to get sympathy. Miss Clinton said she would continue pressing forward in spite of headwinds she faced because of her sex. That's a bad image, her sex. I'm just trying to cope with it, deal with it, live through it, she said, laughing. In the interview, Clinton explained that it was like what it was like to live with Bill Clinton when they were both in their Chappaquiddick home. We'd get back to the house and stay in the kitchen and talk and maybe eat something bad, maybe drink something bad. She said she was referring to beer or wine. We watch TV like the hundreds of shows we record and finally get to, then go to bed and read for a while before we fall asleep. Yeah, just the image that I need. And with that, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back. Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying half of the stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash,
right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and we are making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you like this live stream, do not forget to subscribe to that live stream. If you want to support the show, support SHR Media. If you want to become a Reaverite, just go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt, coffee mug, and other items. So I'm going to throw a little curveball into my show. Yes, it was yesterday that Trump did a rally in San Jose. The anti-Trump supporters, as normal, became violent. They attacked several Trump supporters. So these people that went to a rally just to hear Trump speak, got attacked physically and verbally. One guy was hit upside the head, and I don't know what he was hit up with, and it was on videotape. It caused a nice gash in his head and start bleeding. A woman was cornered by Hispanics waving Mexican flags, cornered her, trapped her, and started throwing items of eggs and bottles at her head. But it's the Trump supporters that are the violent ones. That we keep getting told. We keep being told that Trump is the violent one. No, you fucking liberals. It is your people, your paid protesters that are violent. Then you wonder why they get arrested, and you have to start lawsuits, and you go after the police because you're fucking paid protesters. Paid agitators are getting arrested for being violent when they're being violent. Now the fucking dumbass mayor of San Jose is blaming Trump for the violence. You really got to be a fucking mental midget. Thank God I don't live in California. That is one of the biggest states that is anti-American as you can get. You have so many misinformed morons, window-licking, helmet-wearing jackasses. One man was punched to the ground, another was bloodied, and a woman was pelted with eggs and bottles. They trapped this woman. So much for the war on women from that the Democrats were fighting to help. You are the ones that are creating a war on women. You help the Middle East and the war that's going on the women.
You are the ones that verbally attacked women in the United States. You are the ones that actually attacked the ones in the United States. But yet you have the fucking balls to say it's everybody else that has the war on women. I don't hear any of the left condemning the actions. I don't hear Hillary Clinton condemning the actions. I don't hear Bernie Sanders condemning the actions. But they sure as hell jumped all over Trump that he must condemn the actions. Where is the media screaming about the violence against women on this? Fox News, CBS, NBC, CNN, MSNBC. They're all fucking quiet. You attack a woman like that when I'm around, and God help you. You know why you don't see this in Florida? Because if you're throwing bottles, especially glass bottle, at someone's head, you're making an attempt on their life. And guess what? Anybody that's around has the right to defend that woman at that time as they see fit. I see a glass bottle being thrown at someone's head. That is an attempt on their life. And this dumbass mayor of San Jose blames Trump because of his fucking people. These people are waving and more proud of the Mexican flag than they are of the United States. Does anyone find that as an issue? These Hispanics that are going there, waving the Mexican flag, causing violence, but yet Trump is such a racist for pointing out that these illegal immigrants coming into the United States care more about the country they came from. They do not care about our country. The ones that are coming over the border illegally are not the best and the brightest of Mexico. They are criminals. And they're proving it by going over and committing acts of violence. But Trump's the violent one. The Trump supporters are the violent ones. Because one man punched somebody during a rally. All the other violence has been started by these paid agitators. Where is Hillary Clinton to condemn this? Where is Bernie Sanders out there condemning this? It is their people that are doing this. There's videos. Go look at it. They trapped that woman. She had nowhere to go. They trapped her, surrounded her like a pack of animals. They surrounded her and attacked her. They had to jump a guy from behind and then turn around and run. They didn't have the balls to stand there. They had to run like little pussies. They had to back a woman into a corner. Well, let me rephrase that so I'm not. There was no corner. I was talking figuratively. These women... Exactly. I know it's perpetuated by the administration that we have. They have fed into this bullshit for a while now and caused this. They approve of the left, the violence from the left. They are quiet about it. But one person on the right swings. And they think it's the end of the fucking world. These people, they run up from behind and punch. They trapped this woman. And they are silent. This is what our country's come down to. A bunch of fucking foreigners jumping and beating on our citizens. Now, I'll tell you right now, just a couple weeks ago, Trump was in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, my hometown. I spent 15 years volunteering for that township. And I'm embarrassed what I saw in those videos. I am embarrassed by those little snot-nosed little fucking brats running their mouth. We need to turn this country around, people. If you aren't positive about Trump, if you have some reservations, that's fine. I'm not going to argue on that. But do you want to take a chance letting this fucking cunt into office? Excuse me about that one. I know that one's a nasty one to say about women, but this one just... I cannot stand this woman. This murderer. So if you have your reservations about Trump, make sure that the Congress that you elect into office is a strong Congress. One that's not going to let a president do whatever he wants. That's going to do more than just, oh, we're going to sue you. Do one that's going to stand up, take funding away, do everything possible. Make sure that we have a strong Republican Congress. And I am sure that Trump's going to be a strong conservative president. And he's going to do what's best for the country. And that's what I like about him. That I get the solid feeling he's going to do what's best for the country. And I was an anti-Trump when he first got in. And I haven't hid that. I've said it plenty of times. There was an idiot last night on Twitter who said he's such a conservative. He's so strong conservative. But he's okay with 4 years of Hillary. If we have 4 years of Hillary, it'll be another 4 years of Obama policies, another 4 years of this type of mannerism from these anti-Trump protesters. Do you think America can withstand 4 more years? Because if she gets in, it's going to be more than 4 years. It's going to be another 8 years. Do you think do you think she can stand that much more punishment and stay standing? I really don't think that Lady Liberty can withstand any more of this progressive socialist bullcrap. If you're still on the border, vote in a strong Congress and let's make sure we get Trump elected. Send this woman to jail. Let's show Lady Liberty that we still will stand up and protect her. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying Catholics, stupid.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guy. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless and having too much fun with this damn program. I know it's stupid and corny with that, but I'm having fun. Damn it, I gotta have some fun. The Jersey Takeover has arrived and has taken over, and we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com, just click on the chat room button, join the conversation. My daughter is always telling me, Dad, make sure to tell him to click the like button or subscribe button and leave a comment. Well, I try to remember to do it every day. And lastly, if you want to become a Reaverite and you want to support the show, or if you want to support SHR Media, or if you just hate whales, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store, and yes, pick up your I Hate Whales bumper stickers for no other reason than to just piss off PETA. No other reason. Just get the I Hate Whales bumper sticker. Yeah. The things that come up between a bunch of grown men can be scary. Let's see. Where are we at? We're almost done the show. Where are we? Oh, this one. I love this story. So Obama was crying the other day about the right-wing radio and some cable news. They're spreading lies about the economy. Right-wing radio. In other words, SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, the alternative news, not the mainstream. Shows like mine, Sackheads Radio, and many others. He's crying about them. And he's saying we're spreading lies because we're looking at the numbers and going, well, the economy's not doing better. The jobs aren't out there. Wednesday at Concord Community High School in Indiana, while speaking about jobs and economy, Barack Obama attacked right-wing radio for broadcasting what he calls an untruthful version of America's economy. You see, the ones that are doing this broadcasting are out there living in the real world. We're not protected and sitting in the White House and get to fly all over the world anytime we want at no cost on Air Force One. Some of us can hardly afford to go to the fucking store to get bread. But he thinks that the economy is doing good. You look at all the numbers and it's not doing that great. If you look at the stock market, yes, it's up. It's being artificially inflated. Now, I am not exactly economical expert, and I could see how it's artificially inflated by the government pumping money into it. And what, 2 years ago, the government said that, well, we're going to start cutting back. We're going to stop pumping so much money into the stock market. We got to stop doing it. It was just done as a temporary to help with the economical collapse. Well, as soon as they announced that, stock market dropped. Because once the government stops, our economy is going to go in the toilet. They say unemployment's at a record low. Yes, because the people that were on it have been kicked off of it. People like my wife aren't counted as being unemployed because she's not on unemployment. I've never liked that number, and president after president after president has used that number to gauge the unemployed. It's not as good as he falsifies these numbers. And then he cries when people tell the world about what's really going on. He doesn't know from his perch high up in his ivory towers. And then he wants to sit there and complain that we are telling the hardworking middle-class families that the reason they are getting squeezed is because some moochers at the bottom of the income ladder, because of minorities and because of immigrants or because of employees or because of feminists. Well, it's a lot of reasons. And yes, it is because we got illegal immigrants coming in and they're getting more benefits than any citizen gets. They're getting more benefits than our own vets get. We got people coming into this country specifically at their retirement age because their country does not offer any type of Social Security. So they come to our country at retirement age to get retirement. Never paying a dime into Social Security, they are being given Social Security. We have illegal immigrants coming across the border being given Social Security disability who never put a dime into it. Then he wonders why we're complaining about things like that. I've never heard of anybody complaining about the feminists and economy. He's trying to protect his legacy and say, look at how great I did. But more people are believing. And he doesn't like how the election's going because one of the main reasons that Trump's doing so good is because of his economical ideas. And people think that the economy is doing so bad, which is hurting the wicked witch of the West. Was it the West or East? I can't remember. Which one did the house fall on? It's hurting her and her numbers. So he's trying to go out there and say, no, they're lying, they're lying, they're lying. And he says, I hope you don't mind me being blunt about this. I have been listening to this stuff for a while, and I'm concerned when I watch the directions of our politics. Yes, because we want to turn around from your crap policies, your destructive policies. Nobody on the right wants to take away Social Security. Nobody on the right wants to take away welfare. Nobody wants to take away any of it. Do we want to fix it? Yes. And does that mean that we want to stop people from abusing the system? Yes. Do I believe that we should do away with Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security? No. I don't want to see welfare taken away. I have seen and heard and know of stories where people have fallen on hard times, went through that system, gotten their lives straightened out, gotten off of it, and are leaving very strong lives. Thank you, Kel. And she was putting up, she listened to the Sackheads radio show from Wednesday night where it was Sackhead Clint, Sackhead Sean, Dan the Man Butcher, and myself. We all had such a great time that Dan the Man Butcher was in the chat room yesterday saying he's going to try to schedule the four of us to get back together again because it was fun. We had different opinions, but we were able to respect each other's opinions and talk about our own. We all agree that the policies that have been pushed on us by this government, the destruction of the government, we all agree that we're heading in the wrong directions. I'm not saying to do away with welfare. I'm saying we need to correct some issues. A very good friend of mine, she had 3 kids. Her husband walked out on her. She was a stay-at-home mom. Her husband walked out, just gone. She went on welfare. She took the opportunity. She went back to school with the help of New Jersey and the federal government. She went back to school, got her LPN. Started working as a nurse, got off of welfare, supported herself and supported her kids. There's nothing wrong with that. Do people every now and then, shit happens, do they need a helping hand? Yes. Should people be living off of that just because they don't want to work? No. And who has perpetuated that? The liberals. So no, Mr. President, your economy is not doing better. Yes, it is because of immigrants. It is because some of the poor, some of those that do not want to work, have put such a strain. So yes, those stories are true, and they are being pumped into cars, bars, and VFWs, as you said, across America. And you're trying to call us liars so that people will believe you. Well, sir, our numbers prove otherwise. I have no agenda. I have no horse in the race. I'm not getting paid by anybody to say what I say. This is my truth. You, on the other hand, have been bought and paid for by corporations. I have no sponsors. I have no money incoming. This all comes out of my pocket to do this show. And also the generosity of the sackheads. So I have no other reason. I have no masters. Well, except my wife. My wife, of course. But that's a different story for a different time. And with that, it's time for the weekend. And as always, and I mean it every time I say, I am honored. I am joyful. I am thankful for you all allowing me to do this. Without people actually listening, I would not be here, so I thank you. I am honored. And I wish everybody a great weekend. Till Monday, 11 a.m. Have a good weekend. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.